Hello, everyone. This is the Finance Pastor coming to you live from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And what a privilege it is to be with you and everyone that is watching right now. The Holy Spirit is the master counselor. That's why I talk about influence on my page. Jesus, he's the master carpenter. That's why I talk about real estate. Now, God, he's the master trader. How so, brother? Because anyone that trades beauty for ashes, anyone that trades joy for pain, anyone that trades a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, to me is definitely the master trader. And what a day it has been, what a week it has been for the United States of America. America keeps winning. Trump keeps overdosing us with wins behind wins. We're winning so much, we're going to get tired of winning. And what Trump is going to do is pour on more wins. And that's what's happening over the world with many of the tariff situation that has dominated the news over the last few weeks. Many people are not paying attention to what's going on over the world. And if you're not buying American stocks, you are going to miss the rocket ship that's going to take off. There's many companies that are very bullish. Uh, I'm very bullish on it. And I believe that you need to pay attention what companies are traveling with President Bush. You could already see that Tesla, Amazon, you start seeing AMD, many of the Nvidia, Johnson and Johnson, Boeing, many of these companies are there and they are bringing money back to the United States. We're not going there for show. We're not going there to pitter patter. We are there to do business. That's what we there to do. We are in Syria, in the Middle East, to do business. That's what President Trump campaigned on, and that's what he's going to do. And I am so excited for what he's doing. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for what's going to happen. What about you guys? Are you excited what's happening? Are you scared? Are you happy? Are you just excited for what's about to take place? Because I believe that if you play your cards right, this is going to be some of the best investing you'll do. Even if you have to start putting away $100 every week or every 2 weeks, whatever it is, start buying stock. I've been playing the call options on a couple of stocks on Palantir, Tesla, on the Qs. Been playing the upside. So far, I'm up. I'm on long-term options. I'm not doing any front month ones, but I really am looking and for what's the next move. But also knowing that even though I'm bullish on the American economy, I still have to look at the headwaves that we still have ahead of us. So those are the things that I kind of look at right now. Chairman Powell has not lowered the rates. That is really holding a lot of things in play. If he can lower rates, this economy is going to take off like a rocket ship. I was believing that he would lower rates right in time for the summer buying, and we have not seen that yet. Could there be an emergency rate cut? Let's see. June, I don't know. But right now, we're waiting for the next meeting for the Fed. I believe is in July, if I'm not mistaken, but I got to verify that. But we're going to see like what happens if he's going to give a rate cut because the inflation numbers have given the go ahead that we have cooled off. And those are numbers from April. Inflation really is a key cog in what has happened. And the stock market since Monday, just all the news that has come over the weekend from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it has taken off. The Dow Jones have been the only laggard in many of the things that in many of the stocks that have been moving today and over the week. But other than that, the S&P, the Russell 2000, the NASDAQ have been bullish and on a tear. And we are going to see many more moves like this. This is just the beginning. Even if you feel like you're missing the beginning of the plane, you can still get on. The river in the stock market always flows. Remember that. And when there's one train leaving, there's another one right behind it. Whatever stocks that you love, this is the time to start buying. Many people ask me, Felix, I don't know what to invest in. I don't know where to put my money in. And if you're that type of person that be like, hey, I just want to know, I don't know where to put my money in, I ask you a couple of questions, which is what car you drive, what products you enjoy, what's in your home, where do you love to eat, where do you love to shop at, are you married, where you and your spouse love to enjoy to eat, where do you love to shop, do you have kids? You start seeing that 5 out of 10 of those things that you have in your home are from publicly traded companies. And or what about if God has given you a gift where you understand an industry very well? That's what you can use to start investing in the stock market. Many of you here have so many wonderful gifts, or maybe you just nerd out at certain subjects that you're really good at. And I always tell people, invest in what you know, because a lot of the things, it makes it easier because now you don't have to, no one convince you if the stock is good because you enjoy the product. That's one of the beautiful things about investing, is investing in what you know. Now, if you don't know what to invest in, that's where you want to stick to ETFs. Some of the famous ones are the S&P 500 ETF, which is the SPY. Another one is the QQQ. Another one's the DIA, which is the diamonds. Another is the Russell 2000 and the IWF. And then you have many other little ETFs from Jets. Uh, some here, but I'm a New York Jet fan. But there is a stock called the JETS, Jets, and it's a pretty good stock. It's one of those $20 stocks that, if you're patient with that, it really is gonna, you're not gonna be uber rich, but you can make 20, 25%, 10% on your money. You're looking at a $2,000 account. That's 250 bucks. You look at that and you start making moves and start seeing wins, you'll start putting more money in the stock market. That's the thing that you want to look at, making wins like that. I also want to look at some of the news that has impacted the stock market. There's many more things that are happening today. Most of the Democrats and many of the politicians have just been focused on the gift of a $400 million plane. Like, really, I mean, that's all they got to talk about. 400 million, but these companies like Apple, AMD, Tesla, Johnson and Johnson, many of these other companies, and Boeing are making billion-dollar deals. That should be a wake-up call. Why they don't want you to know these things? Why they trying to keep you upset? You should be putting your money in the stock market. Now is the time. Don't hesitate. Don't let the political feelings get in your way. It's all about making money, and that's what it's all about for me, is making money and making sure my family eats, that I'm able to provide for them. That is my job as a steward of God's, over my, if I'm the king, priest, and prophet of my home, it is my duty. It is my duty to make sure I'm able to provide. Investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, doing these videos and providing influence is what I love doing. So we are going into a wonderful week. I'm expecting more and more good news from the stock market, but I'm also cautious. I'm also making sure that I don't get too excited, because there's also headwinds that we do have to face. The bond market is not really in sync with the stock market. So that's something that has me a little worried. I was talking to one of my business partners, and those are concerns that what the bond market is doing, it's of concern. You see many stocks that are crossing the 200-day moving average back into the positive. That is something that I am looking towards. The 200 moving day average. It's something to really just guide, and a way to potentially guide where the stock can go. And it can also give us somewhat of a reversal pattern. So I'm seeing a lot of reversals in the stock market, but is it head fakes? That's the thing you want to look at. Are these move head fakes in order to get the retail trader to buy up, only for the big conglomerates to drop the price with bad news, only to just scoop it up and eat up the equity, or kind of doing the short squeeze, kind of like GameStop over here? But we want to look at a few stocks, and I want to give a shout out to Universal Studios. I guess You know what? I think I'm a Slytherin, so I'm into getting to the Harry Potter. So I thought I was a Slytherin, but really, I'm a Ravenclaw. So I took the test. So I don't know. Are you a Slytherin, Hufflepuff? I don't know what you guys are, but I was in Universal Studios and I really enjoyed it. So Diagon's Alley was really cool. So Universal Studios, you got your stuff really, really, really down packed. So I love it. So let's go. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. We are looking at the S&P 500, and you can see these lines I've kind of drew right here. We just seen almost like a V shape. I'm gonna change this into a line chart to give you see this, like it almost looked like we're doing a V shape correction. I'm not saying that's what it is, but that's what it looks like. You start looking at stuff like the Nasdaq. You start looking at look at it's almost the same patterns, these V shape type of patterns. Here's the Dow Jones is the only one that is kind of like a somewhat of a V, but the Dow Jones is really the one indice that has struggled over the last few days. But let's look at a couple of stocks and let's go over here and see what we got. Let's go to Meta. Meta again has taken off. Let's go to a candlestick chart. It's just look at this nice little bounce here. I am bullish on Meta. What Mark Zuckerberg is continuing to do in Facebook and in Instagram and WhatsApp. This is, I believe he has a pulse of social media. I mean, he's got a great pulse. I believe that Meta is going to be offering like the new type of mall. The mall of the future is going to be in space, similar to what Amazon's already doing. Again, this is just bouncing off. I want to see this past this high right here until I see these stocks passing the previous highs of January, February ish in that area. I want to see that pass those highs of that. Until then, I'm still cautiously bullish. Apple, again, another stock that's had a good day. Uh, Kind of just iffy, a doji day to day, not much movement. But again, this is the stock that was supposed to be downgraded, and many of the traders are fighting with this one because they love Apple. I love Apple. I'm using a Mac right now, so can't complain. Nvidia, the darling, again, I'm bullish on Nvidia. This stock, if it keeps getting all these business deals without competition, I could see this stock going right back to 1,000. This stock is going to go right back to 1,000. And the capital investment of $500 billion is something. It is something to talk about. This right here, this company right here, Nvidia, has what we call they have an advantage. They have a consumer advantage, and that is something that you have to respect. The work that Jensen Huang has done in this company and its other techies, engineers, I mean, have really built something special. Everyone who's ever worked for NVIDIA should be very proud of the work that they have done. This stock right here is one that I believe it's going to go even higher. Tesla, I'm bullish on this one. I'm believing this stock is going to go to 850. I said that in the beginning of the year. I'm still believing that. I believe that this stock is going to take off like a rocket ship, and I'm riding this wave right now. Currently, like I mentioned, I'm in October options, so I'm hoping that right now I'm positive, but there's a little bit of greed, that I might want to get some more, but it is what it is. I'm riding this train. So Tesla bullish on Elon Musk. I know a lot of people who hear me, they were like, you gush too much over Elon. He is the Tom Edison of our day. I said it. He's the Tom Edison of our day. And you hate that. But don't hate that. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Don't God has got his blessing on that brother. So stop hating him. Tesla. Another one here, I believe bullish. Palantir. Let me go Palantir again. Another one that I'm bullish on. Let me take out all these. Guess I was trying to do some calculations or some Fibonacci's or something here. But yeah, Palantir, I'm believing this stock again. I'm bullish. I'm believing with the military stuff, all that stuff that's happening in Saudi Arabia and in Qatar. Palantir is profiting from that too. So military stuff, I would look at Palantir again. I'm bullish on this one. Again, this is in my stock portfolio. I own stock here. So this is the stuff that I tell you I have, I buy, I put my hard-earned money into these stocks. Tesla, I'm in Tesla, Ford, Palantir, Q's, and I'm gonna add more to my Nvidia position. Those are what I'm in right now. That's what I'm in. If you want to know my that's it. I don't have 1,000 shares, excuse me, 1,000 stocks I know people that want to buy one of this one of that one, three of this one, 10. No, 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 no. If you start looking at many fund managers, they basically have anywhere from 2 to 8 stocks in their portfolio. Not one of them, not one of them, not one of them has a mutual fund, which is the funniest thing. But they sell it to us, which is funny, but it is what it is. That's the price you pay. Google Alphabet, another one. It's gotten hammered a little bit, but I think is going to go right back up. Google's going to have a lot of competition. AI is going to eat Google's lunch. Google needs to be very, very weary of what the AI that's happening right now and how Grok AI, how ChatGPT, and many of these other ones, Perplexity, a lot of these other AI companies that are coming out, like really, like Google has to innovate. They've had the market share for a long time. And, at one time, many of you younger people don't know what Ask Jeeves is what Google is. But basically, you have to think of Google and Ask Jeeves right now is Google's the Ask Jeeves and Chat GPT is where Google's at. So this one right here is Alphabet. I like Alphabet. I like some of the stuff they're doing, but they need to innovate because there's people that are about to eat their lunch if they're not careful. Ford, you've been up. You've been doing all right. You've been rising. Ford is one of these that it's you gotta. It's a small dividend stock. You're not gonna be, rolling in the dough. But if you're buying it now and you're patient, you could double your money. Really, realistically, if you're buying it now at 10 or that 11, it'll ride it up to 24. You'll double your money. It'll probably be a year or two. So that's one of those slow rollers. I don't want to look at it type of stocks. And you get your dividend. You good. What else we got here? AMD. AMD. You if AMD breaks out of this pattern, I'm gonna reassess this. Right now, AMD is still in this downward pattern that I don't like. So AMD has a little bit to prove to me. So I mean, look at this bottom. It's almost hugging it right here. If AMD beats this line, passes this 140-ish, I'll get into AMD again. Until then, I'm not really not feeling that one. But I really love the CEO. I think the world of her. Uh, so let's see what she does. I'm bullish on her. She's also in Qatar. Let's see what we looked at some of these XRP, some crypto. I got some of that. Netflix. Netflix is one of those that man, it's been up and down the last few days. It's been topsy turvy, but it has bounced off this one line here. So overall, I'm bullish on Netflix. Overall, I'm bullish on Netflix, but I'm also cautious on it because Netflix does love to leave a brother hanging sometimes. So let's see what else. Let's go share my screen. We look at any news. Let me share my screen again. Look at some news. Let's look at CNBC. Dow futures getting hammered. Dow Nasdaq. As long as the Nasdaq stays up, that's all I care about. I'm tech heavy right now, but Dow futures has got beat up. S&P futures, it's okay. Right here, man. Boeing. This is wonderful. Right now, I'll be looking at Boeing stock. That to buy up to 210 planes. I mean, that's a huge order. So you look at this. We are looking at. To me, it is really truly the golden age of investing. You look at some of these companies. Look at Bloomberg. 142 billion defense funds. Deal sparks question, few answers. Yeah, of course. Everyone now wants to be a fighter for the good of the American people, which is some of the funniest things I've ever seen. Which is now everyone is fighting for over bull crap over here. But this is the thing is, while you're hearing all this noise, you should be running to your bank and opening up your brokerage account and buying stocks. Hear me out, my precious people. Stop wasting your money on dumb crap. Many of you do many dumb things and spend your money on dumb stuff. The stock market is going to be a supersized savings account. Hear me again. The stock market is going to be a supersized savings account. Are you going to get in the party or are you just going to watch in the sidelines? The party's going to wait for no one. The United States is going to take off like a rocket ship. It behooves you to start investing. Set your family forward. You prayed for this, you voted for this. You need to put your dollars into this. That's the thing. You have to look at your investments. See, every time I look at George Washington here, see, this is George Washington. And over 200 years ago, he fought for our freedom. But you know what? Today, George Washington is still alive and he's still fighting for freedom. Except it's our financial freedom. And you know what I look and when I see George Washington and I say, I will only set George Washington free if he comes back with two or three. You just need to know what to set him free so he can come back with two or three. That's the key. Stocks is going to be your key cog for you to invest. Don't let this moment pass by. Don't wait in the sidelines to say, oh, I'm a wait, I'm a wait, I'm a wait. The stock market is going to take off and it waits for no one. I'm telling you right now, put your investments in the stock market. To me, we are entering the golden age of investing. This is what real estate was in 2012, 13, 14, where you could buy cheap properties and just ride the wave up. This is the same opportunity right now in the stock market. If you remember 2008, 2009, 2010, and those people who bought properties at that time and those people who bought stock at that time crushed it. Crushed it. Don't miss this wave. This is probably the greatest opportunity we're going to have to a market run greater than the 2000 after the recovery of 2008, after the dot-com bump. This is going to be the greatest ascension in the stock market that we are going to see. There is a favor of God on President Trump's life. There is an anointing on his life for the marketplace ministry, and I'm going to cash out on that, and I hope you do too. I'm bullish on Tesla, on Apple, on Nvidia, AMD, GE Aeronautics, Costco, Walmart, uh, what else? Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, Palantir, SPY, QQQ, DIA. Those are companies that I am bullish on. Sometimes you could take your hand and just throw it on the stock market chart and let it land wherever it may. But you are going to make money in the stock market if you play your cards right. Now, there were many saints of old in the 1980s when Visa, MasterCard, and American Express came out. They were so spiritual on God is coming, Jesus is coming. That's true. They got spiritual, but they should have invested in the stock market. Why do I say that? Imagine if those saints of old would have put $10,000 in Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, the multi millions of dollars they would have today if they would have not sold. That is the same period we are right now with cryptocurrency. I'm not saying this is it, Bitcoin is it, or XRP, or Ethereum, or Litecoin. I'm not saying that's it, but it behooves you to start investing in those type of investments. HBAR, XLM, XRP, uh, uh, Bitcoin, what else? Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, anything you want to invest in, you need to look at what is the next investment. Crypto is it. You need to look at those things. There's many things that you're going to find that is going to be opportunities for growth in the stock market. AI is the biggest thing. You shouldn't be afraid of AI. Manufacturing is coming back to the United States, and many people they argue with me on this is what are they going to bring manufacturing back so we could go to work for $10 an hour? No, stupid. Manufacturing is coming back, but not the way you think it's coming back. It's going to come in the form of robotics. That is the key card. Will there be people working? Uh-huh. Will they be people still operating? Uh-huh. And that's the key cog, but there's going to be more innovation, more AI processing, robotics. Think of just arms. That's always going to be robots. So I am believing we are seeing these things already. There's many selfless driving vehicles with Waymo. Tesla's going to have the authority on this because it's the first one that you can actually purchase self-driving. And imagine while you go to work and you drive your Tesla, and your Tesla, while you're at work, goes out and works for you. That's what we're talking about, reduplicating yourself. That's better than Turo. That's better than Ubering. That's better than Lyft. Imagine if you can rent out or just have your Tesla or your vehicle like running people around while you're working. Man, that is genius. Talk about making your money work for you. That's a great investment. That's a great idea. That's the wave of the future. So these Model Ys, I'm very keen on those. I'm excited of what's happening to the future. I've actually got to ride in a Waymo. It was one of the most uh it was a great experience because you're thinking I can't believe that no one's driving and it's just I'm just hanging out in the back. It's one of the greatest experiences I've ever had, and you should too. If you're in a city like Miami, Phoenix, I think in certain parts of LA, you can ride Waymo, and I'm bullish on that company. Too bad it's private, but Google is the biggest investor of that company. So I am bullish on what's happening on in the stock market. I don't know about you, but what I do know is that the stock market waits for no one. We are on a path like a rocket ship, and we're going to take off. It is up to you to start investing in the stock market. It is up to you to be the one that's going to say in your family, I will, I'll go, I'll sacrifice, I'll stop buying junk in order to invest in the stock market. Many of you here have dreams of visions that haven't yet been fulfilled, and you're looking for those opportunities to become a reality. The stock market could be a way for you. I'm always talking about the goodness of God and how he opens up doors for his people. Many of you are here are marketplace ministries, are marketplace ministers, and that's my assignment. I speak to market ministers, and if you're here and if you receive this words of encouragement, I'm here to pray blessings and favor over your life. God's got you. He has not forgotten you. He is here. He is here to deliver you. He is here to set you free. And He's also wanting to open up doors for you and your business. I'm praying that God gives you wisdom to open up new ideas, new creativity in your mind, open doors. I believe that that's what God wants for you, open doors, but He also wants you to till the land. You have to work it. You cannot bypass process. Many lazy people want to bypass the process of business, but you can't bypass process. So enjoy the journey. Nothing's overnight. You start seeing that as you get older, you get better. You start seeing that as you, right now, I'm gonna be 48. I've done more things in my 40s than I did in my 30s. And I also agree that I'm gonna do more things in my 50s than I did in my 40s. So you get better with age. There's no such thing that if you don't arrive by the age of 25, that life is over. I used to think that. And when I started finding is that life just start to begin at 40. So all of you who have believed that, hey, is it oh, am I old? Is it too late? It's never too late. We look at Colonel Sanders. We look at many people who have gone before us and really has given us a path on how to achieve our goals. And God's got you. He hasn't forgotten you. If He gave you a dream and a vision to do it, He will give you the provision to do it. And I believe it. It said it, and He will do it. And I believe it in Jesus' mighty name. If you are in this week, you're looking for opportunities, I'm believing the market is a place. I'm thinking it's going to keep going bullish, but I'm also believing that it's going to take a reprieve and many negative news is going to dominate. That's how it happens. Usually, when the stock market is going this good and a lot of the retail buyers are in there, a lot of these institutions cannot stand it. And they'll do anything to drive the market down through noise or bad press or whatever. Uh, all the news, you can't even trust it. CNBC, Bloomberg, you guys are so skewed to the left. And then Fox News, you're so skewed to the right. There's no center. We don't have a center, the center. So that's what I'm looking for. So hopefully, we change that in the near future. But I don't know about you guys, but leave your comments. I'm looking forward. Share this page. This is the Finance Pastor coming to you live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I'm so excited. I'll see you guys soon. Check you out. Bye bye.